quick, dude. I have regular premium. I don't have premium plus anymore. Do I get access to Grok 3 or no?
As of right now, I believe that is a no.
Dang. Okay, dude. I've been using ChatGPT since it's like the only real AI I've ever used. I haven't had a reason to try anything else. I know Claude's got a lot of clout, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've been jumping around to different ones back and forth. And yeah, I've been with ChatGPT lately. It's been solving a lot of the issues I've been having with the other LLMs and just easy to work with. The workflows in there are getting pretty good. And I've been playing around with Grok 3 today because I have that access and I like it. It's, it's not as organized as I can kind of do in ChatGPT Plus. Yeah, Plus, right? The $20 one. But it's like very good and it does save the chats and it's like grok.com. It's a pretty good interface. So I like it so far. I might switch. I don't know.
Oh, is it $40 good?
Yeah, that's a good question. And welcome up here, Christopher. It's good to have you up here with us, man.
Thank you, sir. It's good to be here.
So I have a question, Rich. I haven't seen my premium price go up. I think I'm still paying the same old rate because it went up recently from 18 to 30 or something.
No, premium, I believe, is just $8 I just looked and it's $8.
Right. No, I'm sorry. I meant premium plus, but didn't premium plus go up before this as well?
Yeah, I think it went up to $22, I believe.
So I think I'm paying less than that still, which is cool. Don't tell anyone.
That's odd. Well, maybe, did you sign up for like the annual plan?
No, I'm paying monthly.
Maybe you're grandfathered in or something.
I'll take it. Imagine being grandfathered in on Premium Plus at 40 and I'm still paying like 18.
Yeah, how do I get that? Because I signed up whenever it released. I want to be grandfathered in. You need to check Btrader. Go into your account settings and just
let me see.
Pretend like you're going to switch your plan and see what it shows you.
Don't actually switch it because
right.
it'll
be $40.
Because then you will no longer be grandfathered in.
Yeah, no, it's saying, so I'm Canadian. It's saying $24.92 Canadian a month, which is still $18, right? US, the old Premium Plus one.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm leaving it. Sticking at that, I guess, for now and see what happens.
Yeah, I would just keep it. That's one thing that does suck. There's a lot of things that suck about the price increase. Obviously, nobody likes to pay more money, especially when they feel like the service hasn't really changed. But apparently, the change to the service is that, Premium Plus users now have access to Grok 3. So my big question is, how long is this going to be the difference between Premium and Premium Plus? When will they give Premium users access to Grok 3? And at that point, will Premium Plus users have additional features or benefits to prove out that, or to justify the cost of $40 a month?
I already have access. Do you guys not have access to Grok 3?
No, I do. Yeah, anybody Premium Plus should have access now.
I would pay the extra for better video encoding, because that's been a big problem for me. I won't even do little details like film grain or something like that, because it'll just destroy it. It will make it look worse than if I hadn't done it at all.
Wait, does Grok 3 make video? No?
No, I'm just saying on my posts, just with Premium Plus, I would pay for that. But yeah, still not an option.
Oh, video editing features as you upload videos. Is that what you're talking about?
Just higher quality, because it really just anything you upload, it'll just, even if it's 1080p, it'll just destroy the quality.
Yeah, good point. Give us 4K uploads. Give us, some more personalization features for our profiles. There's some really old-fashioned ideas, having a guest book or just a fun way to feature, your favorite followers. Maybe give us subscriptions, even if we don't qualify for those other qualifications. Just some other goodies.
Pay to play.
Yeah, and if Grok can ultimately replace ChatGPT for me, now we're talking that. I could drop that subscription for $20, and then I'd feel like it's worth it. So video generations, I've heard that mingling around, that feature would really make that enticing, kind of we get a few generations a month with Orah on the ChatGPT paid subscription. So, there's a few things that they could do. Maybe they will It's just this initial launch. They're probably like kind of overwhelmed.
Not too overwhelmed to raise the price, though.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be more to it than just access to Grok 3 because it's a $32 price difference from premium to premium plus. You know, in GPT, it's only $20. So there's that extra $12. So are they saying that, you know, Grok 3 is worth $12 more a month than GPT? I don't know. That's the way I'm seeing it right now.
You're paying for the brand, Rich. The X brand, premium.
That's true. And if you did watch the release yesterday, they are saying that it is worth more. Yes, because that was the main messaging, was that Grok 3 is incredibly smart and, you know, does much better on all the benchmarks than all the other AI around right now. So
and just a hot tip for everybody. If you have Grok 3, if you tell it I love you in the prompt, he'll give you a better response. So you can just experiment with that.
You can just be polite. You can just say please and thank you.
Well, no, that didn't work. I did some experimenting. Yeah. I was having it analyze my profile and my website to just give me some ideas of how I could make it more cohesive, updates I could change, specific things. And I did have to really get it to, it did a pretty good job, like out of the gate, but I wanted it to be a little bit better. So I kept like trying to think harder, do better, all this stuff. And then finally I was like, please, Grok, I love you. Do this. Take your time. And once I said that, it took its time. He thought about it for like, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute versus just like instantly replying. You know, I kind of like that little like thing where the LLM thinks about it. I feel like it's working better. When it responds immediately, I think it's like, oh, you're just taking the shortcut. Yeah.
Do you like it when it shows its work? Like when it's like, looked at this, thought about this, thought about that? So like, because doesn't one of the GPTs do that, like 03 or something?
Yeah. 01 and 03 do that. And I do like that too, because sometimes there's a good response in there that's actually better than the output, kind of interestingly.
It's also kind of an early warning system that you're going to get like a not satisfactory answer. And so you can just stop the generation right there.
Yeah, and tweak your prompt accordingly. Yeah, it is a helpful feature. What about you, Rich?
Yes, I agree with all things. No, I just want to say welcome, Orah, and welcome, Chris. It's wonderful to have you guys up here with us. We're just chatting about, you know, the change to premium, the price hike, $40 a month. I'm sure you got some thoughts about that. Orah, what do you think?
Well, my first thought is thank you so much for hosting this space because I'm trying to do housework and I didn't want to be the one to host it. My second thought is I, against what logic dictates, am really starting to wonder if somebody in X hates us all and wants us to leave the platform. That's what I think about the $40 price increase. I'm not joking, Rich. I'm not. Like, I really think X is under attack.
Well, it is, but certainly, I mean, there's a lot of people there, so certainly somebody doesn't like you specifically.
Well, no, I don't mean me personally. I'm just saying, like, if you have people, and I've done a lot of work with groups, and you can have people in groups that can sway the entire group to make really poor decisions. And often it's incompetence. But I believe, especially at this point in history, that it could very well be very, very talented people helping bad decisions be made. I unless something drastic changes, you know, what is it? Less than 1%, isn't it? That's premium plus. How many people are premium plus here? You know, it's less than 3% for sure. Why would they continue? You've cut our pay. You're giving it to spammers, thieves, grifters. You won't tell us, you know, you won't even acknowledge it. I mean, I'm really frustrated. And so I started an alt account today. And I did so because a few of us want to have a space to kind of complain, but not all of us want to put our accounts at risk. I mean, I don't care, but for other people. So I started an alt today and, you know, followed just a few really close friends. My comments are in the basement. All it does is advertise premium to me. Like, if that's the new user experience, this platform is like the Titanic. It is going to plug. And I love this platform. I love the people here. You know, honestly, do away with the monetization program if you got to. But yeah, $40 a month. I don't see the value. I've been playing with Grok this morning. I still don't see the value. I can get GPT for $20. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I've been, sorry, Rich.
No,
I just,
you go, Kate.
love that. You know, I've been complaining about the low end user, the light loot user, the occasional X user experience is actually quite terrible on all fronts. Like, so they should actually focus their energy on that. You know, as paid users, as heavy users and stuff, we're going to complain no matter what happens. There'll always be something. And just noting those things that can help improve, of course, always do that. But I think to really grow this platform, that experience for the beginner, the first time visitor, the light user that only checks in a couple times a week, making that like when they open it, they get excited and they see something that's awesome, that's totally tailored to them. They feel like they're a great time and they end up spending an hour and then they realize now they become addicted and want to be here more. Whereas that experience, I know I don't even want to log into my alt accounts because it's just, I get assaulted with stuff I don't want to see. Yeah, the constant like upgrade here. You can get paid for your content, upgrade. You know, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. I think the onboarding when people create new accounts needs to be a better process to kind of get to know them and whatever they want. And I know a lot of people kind of just click through that process and they don't even, go through it so that their account is more customized for their likes and, topics and stuff like that. But I think that would be helpful because like somebody like my mom or somebody who doesn't use social media a lot, she set up an account on X and immediately it wants her to follow Elon, which I mean, I guess is fine. He's the owner of the platform and I like Elon, but not everybody does, and immediately it wants her to follow Trump. And then she gets into that whole circle. And so now her whole feed is just news and politics and kind of rage baity type stuff that she calls me on the phone about. And it's like, did you see this on X? And I'm like, Mom, no, because I have my X feed trained that I see creativity and, other stuff like that. I don't see the rage baity stuff. And I try to tell her how to use the post menus that she can say not interested and stuff like that. But obviously she's not going to do that. But yeah, if the whole onboarding process would have been better, like she likes country music, show her some country music accounts to follow or something like that. She likes cooking and cooking shows and stuff like that. Show her that type of stuff. But no, it's just all politics from the beginning.
Yeah, congrats on getting your mom on. I was gonna try eventually to get my mom to sign up, but it's I think it's too tough for her. She'll get overwhelmed pretty quickly. But I was like envisioning in my mind a Mother's Day space where everyone just gets their moms on the space. How crazy would that be? Oh my God.
That would be awesome, especially if like Elon got May Musk to join and do like a space. She was in a space not too long ago and it was her first space on X. And she was talking about a book, I think, that she had released and some other stuff. And yeah, she did really well.
So Chris, Gallaty is up here. I bet you've got some thoughts on this as well.
Well, I don't know. First of all, I don't think the communication on any of this is going up. But the other question is, I don't know how much. I think premium folks are a rounding error at this point. That's become pretty apparent. And so, the squeaky wheel isn't going to get the oil if there's not a squeak. There's two things to look at with this particular price change. The first one could be if you look at how Musk treats things like Tesla. They're not afraid to jack the price up at a moment's notice to meet incoming demand. Like when Musk was talking about inflation, they basically jacked the price of all the cars up. And then as soon as that was over, they dropped it down. And so what you could be seeing here is the immediate reflection of the fact that they assume that Grok 3 is going to be a draw. So they kicked the price up to take advantage of that. And then as soon as it's released to general users, they'll correct the price. I think, unfortunately, bolting it to premium wasn't necessarily the best option, I don't think. The other thing that I kind of thought of was the fact that given the state of the monetization program and the fact that it's possibly hemorrhaging people to begin with, if you figure half the people are going to leave, if you double the price and half of the faithful stay, it's a net win. The other part of that is we could see a boost in monetization payouts this next go round, which could kind of distract people from the situation for a while. Regardless, I think this is something that will correct itself within a few months, just because, and I don't know the equation. That's the big thing is of the people that are premium plus right now, how many people have, I am on this for, I've bought the annual subscription thingy before the price hike in December. And so I'm around until, whenever that expires. I'm not going to renew it at this point because I haven't seen the value that I paid, much less $40 a month. There's many other things I could be spending that money on. I mean, who knows, right? It's the beginning of the year. There could be a lot of stuff coming out. Again, I feel like a broken record. If monetization kicks in, that might fix this because more people at a lower level sign up for something, and then that levels things out. I do think one way or another, whether or not X kind of gets a dose of reality from attrition or something else, that this will change in at least a month or two's time.
Yeah, those are definitely some. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying there, Chris. And I think it will change. And I do hope that they add more features or something to the Premium Plus level, because that's a $32 difference from Premium to Premium Plus. And if it's just Grok 3, I mean, Grok 3 is going to be amazing right now and for the next couple of weeks, but that's not going to last forever. So yeah, it's definitely going to have to change. And I'm wondering, did anybody receive a notification of the price change? Because the last price change, I got a notification from X about that. I didn't receive a notification about this.
Nope, not yet. But I did just check the details page on my account, and it says $40.
Yeah, I see it in the details too, but yeah, I didn't get that notification like I did for the last price change. But yeah, welcome to the space. We got a lot of new people, new listeners. Mars, Patricia, Anna Ray, just everybody. Welcome. Anybody that wants to come up and chat about this, feel free to request a mic. Come sit with us, even if you don't have anything to say right away. Just help the space grow. Let's hear people's opinions. We're just chatting about the price hike, up to $40 a month now for Premium Plus, and also the Grok 3 release. What do you think?
Yeah, and Brett's been posting some stuff today that I've noticed regarding customer support, which is an interesting angle on this. Like, we're already paying a premium price and there's no real support ticket system. And then you expect us to pay even more for that kind of disregard us as customers. So that, I thought that was a fantastic point. If you wanted to come up and talk about that, no pressure, but you spoke about that pretty well in your posts. Yeah, so we'll go ahead we got some hands now. So Orah, you go ahead.
So I was going to say, you guys know I have my moments where I throw my tantrums and I'm upset about stuff. But I normally do try to spin it around to the positive because I believe in manifestation and always going for that highest possible outcome. So Rich, I think you made a really good point. Like, if they suddenly fix monetization, I get $400 next payout. Well, then $40 isn't crap and I'll happily pay it. But if I continue to decline, now I'm down to, like, I got 53 last time, way better metrics than when I got 430. If it continues to decline, of course I'm not going to. I'm just not going to. But I would hope that if they're audacious enough to raise the price in this manner, that maybe they've dealt with some of this stuff and they just haven't told us because they haven't even admitted there's a problem yet.
I hope so. I hope you're right, Orah. Yeah, and you're 100% right about if the monetization is fixed and we start getting paid more, I mean, it's going to be a no-brainer. Like, you're getting paid the money, like, I'm going to pay for the Premium Plus because the Premium Plus, above all other things in the monetization sense, is boosting my posts. Apparently, it says it gets the largest boost, the largest reply boost. So that is going to help you. And so if it's paying for itself, then it's a no-brainer. Yeah, good points, Orah. And Mars, welcome to space.
Hi, guys. Yeah, I was really shocked that this was going to apply to X. I thought it was going to apply to their app. They have the app for Grok, and, to have, and that I believe it's free. The Grok app is free, but it's going to be the lower tier Grok 2. And then they'll charge $40 for the premium Grok 3 release. And I guess they have, like, we're on Grok beta right now. So I think there's a tier above that for Grok. But here's what I'm thinking. Here's my plan. In November, I bought Premium Plus for my husband. It was on sale for $100 for the year, because they cut the price in half. I think it was November, December. I think it was like right around Thanksgiving. And so I got that for him. I've paid for mine for a year. So at the $16 a month, I think, is what I got. And I got a discount because I paid for a year in advance. But what I will do going forward, I have to check when it renews, but I think it's like July or something, is that I will go off, if I'm going to continue, like Orah said, getting $40 a payout instead of $300 a payout, then I won't pay $40 a month for Premium Plus because there's just not that much of a benefit for me. But I would go down to Premium and watch for sales. And I probably would go ahead and go to Premium Plus on a sale month and then go back to Premium the following month until November when they have the really deep discounted sale, and then get it for the year. That's just my plan of how I'm going to try to navigate it. And maybe by November, they're going to settle out what the price is and if it's worth it. And we'll definitely be able to see if there's benefits or not. But yeah, right now, I know with Premium Plus, we were supposed to be able to have access to customer support in a way that I don't know. I haven't tried since they announced that. So I don't know if anybody else has experience with that or not, but I'm just not going to make a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, I still have Premium Plus for the year, on sale at the sales price. And if I have to drop down, I'll drop down for a while until I can get a price that I'm happy with. Because I was thinking, I was like $40 a month. Like, I'm not paying. I do have a newer Tesla. It would cost me $100 a month for the FSD. I really want that. I was really excited because I was thinking X might actually cover that for me. But, like $40, that would actually go towards the $100 of FSD. That's almost half of it. And I would, that's a really fun thing to have. So over, just using the app. So X app. So anyways, that's my thoughts. So I'll just listen now.
I love it. And yeah, Orah, go ahead.
Oh, is my hand up? I was just doing a thumbs down for improved customer support when she was talking. I was going to say, yeah, I've not gotten, the last time I reached out was a week or two ago, and I didn't get a response, not even a canned response. So
yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. I mean, I will say that customer support is a little bit better than what it was like 8 months ago, because I actually get a response within at least a few days, but it's still... It's pretty bad. Kate, do you know who was next in the line of hands? Because I'm seeing hands that I don't think are actually up.
Yeah, Chris Gallaty, and then Brett was next after him.
I put this in a post recently, but it's worth pointing out here. Right now, I would say X feels a lot like early Google, in the sense that there were a lot of shiny projects and people were going after them. And when they got the popularity, people would focus on that and it would get some attention, and then it would just kind of fade. And we're kind of seeing that repeat itself with X, where we've got all these features that are perpetually in beta. XTV. I tried logging in last night. First of all, they never fixed the app to actually stay logged in. I went to go connect last night to watch the Grok update, and it wouldn't even let me in. So I see that kind of happening here, where there's a limited amount of people. And my fear is, much like Google, they're going to try to be the everything app, but they're going to do everything poorly and nothing well with the rate that they're going. And some of that is just the size. Some of that is the rate. No one can know what's going on the inside. But it is kind of a risk that they're taking with some of these efforts that they're going at. What happened with Google is things would go on, they get that lovely beta tag, but the Googlers were able to move around to whatever project they wanted.
I might get jumped here. Hold on. I got a call coming in. I'll come back.
You're fine, Chris. I did want to kind of mention, see what you guys think about. So Monetization Coach, he posted this change and he has a huge following. So he got a lot of comments and the replies and everything. And I saw 2 different people say that they were going to cut their subscriptions because of this change. They're going to keep their Premium Plus subscription, but they're going to cut out their subscriptions to creators on X to save the money, the difference there. So yeah, I was going to see, while you guys are chatting about it, what do you guys think about that? Is anybody going to be taking that route?
Well, I already lost my first subscriber today over it, so
yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. I think that we're going to see a lot of that. And yeah, Brett, welcome to the space.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for letting me rant about this. Yeah, I mean, first, one thing I think what they're doing is, if they're making the price so high, it's doing like other apps. You'll just, instead of paying monthly, you'll do the 1 year thing, like a lot of stuff. And then it's like, set it, forget it. But anyways, my whole thing about it is, I do the Premium Plus, and they just raised that price up last month to like $30 or something. Now it's going to be $40, and if you pay through the app, it's $50. Now I currently have a request in to Premium Support to just lower my price of my creator subscriptions from 5 to 2, because when I signed up for them a year ago. That's where I said it, because I didn't know what to do, and so now I'm locked out. No one's subscribing because it doesn't allow you to, and it's too high anyways. But I've had that request in for over a month now, and I think 2 weeks ago, I got a bot response saying, "We got your request. Here's about our monetization link," and they sent me to like a page about how to get monetized. And then I said, "That's not what I'm asking about." And then radio silence for several days, and then another bot saying, "Here's your ticket number," and then nothing. And I followed up the other day saying, "Yeah, look, this is ridiculous," and nothing. There's radio silence. And I've been posting about the lack of support from them for Premium and Premium X everywhere. And everybody all the executives for X just keep saying how great X is and how great we're doing, and we're the newspaper of the world, and premium creators are getting paid so much. My last payout was $0. And the one before that was $12. I'm not going to continue to make quality content what I think is quality content, and get nothing, while some grifter who does this like reply guy strategy, but it's not really a reply guy strategy, is posting that they're getting $500 to $600 to $1,000, whether that's true or not. I'm not going to be subsidizing them doing that. Okay, that's like a rant. But
that's a really good point. That's a really good point, because we are paying for their malicious activity on the platform, for their engagement groups, for their one-liner content. We are paying them for that.
Right. And then the porn bots, I don't even look at porn, but every comment, every reply I make or post I make, there's always like 2 or 3 of these OnlyFans bots that like it. And that's making me look like a spammer, people could be reporting me for that. And it's like, so I'm not making any money. My subscriptions are way too high. I'm paying for Premium Plus. I've written a couple of decent articles. I put out content just about every day, and it's no better than anybody else's or any worse, but it's like I get 0 response from support. Nothing helping, and then I don't know, it's just like it's driving me crazy, and I'm getting to where I'm just going to quit X altogether. I mean, I'm going to give this next payout to see what happens, but if I don't make enough money to pay the $40 or the $50 plus a little bit of profit on top of that, I'm going to peace out on the app completely. Maybe, I don't know. I'll probably calm down a little bit next week, but I'm seriously not going to pay $50 a month or $40 a month for the treatment that I and several other creators. I'm not the only one complaining about premium support. I mean,
not at all.
It's hit and miss. Some people are like, premium support responds right away and takes care of my problem. That's great. I love it. I wish that would happen for everybody. But like, I'm not expecting like the second I ask, but a day or two. I mean, that's just common courtesy in customer service, right? But radio silence for 3 weeks, and then a bot response that doesn't even address your issue, and then nothing for another 3 weeks. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and it's not like you're asking for a new feature to be implemented. You're just asking for something that should be working to work.
Right. And, it's like, I mean, I want people to subscribe to me, but I don't want them to pay $5. I mean, yeah, maybe in my mind, my content's worth that, but I don't get all my income for my creative stuff just from X, but I shouldn't, it's like I should be able to make some money on it. I mean, I can't force people to subscribe to me, but I don't know, $2, $1, $3, whatever, that seems more reasonable in this day and age. But like now I'm paying $50 for an app. I mean, this is just, it's ridiculous. And, there's several, I'll get off my soapbox here in a second, but there's like several ex-employees that are on everybody's feed that we interact with. And if you say anything, they're like, well, that's not my department, or they just ignore it, but you would think they would be sick of the heat they're getting from their followers and would be like sending at least something to somebody higher up and say, look, this is not fun for us either. We're getting lambasted by people paying money to subscribe to this app, and you all are sticking us out here in the fire and then talking about how great the app is, you know. And I don't know, it just it irritates me, and it just, I don't know, I'm beside myself with anger right now.
I feel you so much on this, because I kind of woke up the other day a little bit black-pilled about X, which is just so out of sorts for me because I just love it here so much. I met some of my best friends, my soulmate, all this stuff, and get to communicate with some of the most incredible people on this platform. But I'm just getting like negative vibes. Like the vibes are like coming at me from all directions. And yeah, most people probably don't even care about the support because they haven't maybe had that moment where they really need it. And then when you really need it, boy, do you need it. And that value is just everything. And it makes you just love whatever you're using so much more.
Right. And it's like, you know, they're talking about doing X money and stuff like that, and you're going to be putting your banking information in there. What if there's an issue and money goes missing, or are they not going to respond to you? I mean, I drive Uber, and if there's ever an issue through the Uber app with the money that goes to the Uber card, they're on it right then. They'll call you and they'll talk to you on the phone. They won't just send you a bot response. They take care of it because they want you to continue to use the app to make money, you know. But X is just like, oh, everything's so great. Linda's here in Spain meeting with the vice president of whatever, and Elon's flying off to fucking Mars. I don't give a shit about that. I want to be able to like put my stuff out there and make friends with people and see other cool stuff by people and maybe make a little bit of money. You know, I don't care about Doge. I don't care about any of that crap. I just want the person who owns the company and the person who's running it to listen to the customers and say, hey, everybody, it's not just one disgruntled person bitching about things. It's a lot of the creators, and a lot of people are leaving and a lot of people are staying, or, you know, whatever. I'm just about fed up with the hype and the promises that aren't being kept and just the bullshit. I hate that. It just drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah, I feel you, Brett. And there's a lot of that going on right now. A lot of people feel the same way. And that's why we're holding this space, just so that we can kind of get it out, vent, share our ideas, share our frustrations. If we have any, you know, comments or opinions on how it could be better or improved, let's share that too. Because, you know, we do have people listening that are anonymous. Some maybe ex-employees. I do think ex-employees do listen to the spaces. And I do think they listen to us. But we don't know. There's other things going on. You know, some people have suggested sabotage within X. Maybe some of the employees are actively working against X's best interests.
Sure.
We don't know. I mean, that might be happening. Right. I do think that with this price hike, something that would have helped is if they would have not only rolled out Grok 3, but rolled out customer service for us, like some sort of announcement that customer service is going to be improved for Premium Plus. I think that would have made a lot of us, you know, accept this a little more. And then maybe also some sort of change to the monetization program, maybe a new tier or a new bonus schedule that's available to only Premium Plus subscription levels, something like that. But just the Grok 3 availability, I feel like that's just not enough. So hopefully they'll add some more. I'm interested to hear what more of you say. I see that Mandy has joined our space, and I'm still seeing Orah's hand up. I don't know if it's just my glitch or what.
You're paying $40 a month for that.
Go ahead, Orah.
Well, other people had their hand up first, didn't they?
Yes,
I up, but I just put it up. So I will wait until Chris and Mandy chime in.
Okay, great. Kate, go ahead, call.
Yeah, the order was Chris and then Mandy, then Orah.
Sounds good.
So mental note, put your phone on Do Not Disturb before you ever go into a space.
Good advice.
So the thing we all watched happen before is, I remember originally when I got Premium Plus, it was like early access to Grok, which was a new thing at that point, blah, blah, blah. I looked at the image generation. That was kind of cool for me because I wasn't paying for anything at that point. I think the thing that is missing is they haven't put any focus into things. They launched articles. I haven't seen any update to the article code period. I mean, they started putting text, not that anyone has ever even seen this feature, but they have a feature that you can use what's used in like scientific publications to do fun things. And you could actually do really interesting things in articles if they ever got that out of beta. They just kind of like yeeted it in there so you can maybe do like an equation, and that's about where they left it. Stuff like that they just kind of, they haven't moved forward on. And that's my one concern on this is they hyped a bunch of stuff for Premium Plus, and then they just kind of like, didn't do anything with it. It hasn't gone forward at all. And I kind of see that happening again, where it'll be renewed for a little bit, where it'll be hot because you get access to Grok 3, but as soon as that wears off, I don't know if they're going to update anything. So yeah, I mean, well, I already said, I don't know what their plan is here, if there is a plan. To me, it still feels like there's just a serious disconnect and an insulation bubble around the individual that would change this. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. And I'd love to keep the conversation flowing. We got Mandy up here. Mandy, I love it when you join us. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You have an active account with a wonderful audience that really engages with you a lot. So yeah, let's hear your thoughts. Welcome to the space.
Hi, thanks guys. I just had a quick question. I don't know if anybody knows or heard. So I log into Premium Plus per year. Like I don't do monthly payments. I just renewed my yearly subscription last month. So I'm wondering if that's going to be locked in for like till next year, or is it going to be like they're going to like charge me the difference, you know what I mean, going forward?
I would assume that you are paying what you agreed to when you signed up as like it's a contract essentially. So you'll pay that till it renews, and then that would change. That would be like, I think how it should go down. If it doesn't, I would be very suspicious because that would be probably illegal in a lot of places. But
yeah, or they'd probably send like a notification or something.
Right.
Also,
yeah,
like
Rich and I were talking about like the monthly, because like we didn't get a notification that it went up in our emails yet. So we're paying monthly, so we'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. And you know, it's funny, like I don't see a lot of people doing the yearly. Most of the people are doing monthly. So yeah, and I see a lot of like people they're sad. Like I see a lot of people going down to premium now, and they have been before this increase even came up too. There's a lot of, I feel kind of the same way as everybody else too. Like I see people being the reply guy like crazy on here. They're showing their analytics. It's like maybe even 100,000 replies that they're getting in 2 weeks, which is insane. And their pay structure is like, I'm like, really? You spent all that time getting all that stuff, and I just don't see the time spent on here is worth it, to be honest. And same with my account. Like right now, I'm kind of slowing it down. I'm enjoying it more. Just, taking my time on here. I used to pour a lot of time into X. I am slowing down. I'm having more fun. Yeah, just not constantly trying to reply and be on here all the time. I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather spend time like with my friends, like a lot of you guys here on this space and other spaces, and just make it more fun. Like I do see the atmosphere, like the people, they're feeling more down on the X app. And it's understandable, but I don't know what's going to happen in the change.
I agree, Mandy. So did you say that you were an annual subscriber? You paid annually?
Yeah, I got Premium Plus last January. And so I just kind of renewed it last month for the year.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Like, I think Mars was talking about that, and she was talking about like hitting it up when they have sales. But the only thing with that, if you subscribe annually, and let's say you go for like the Black Friday sale every year, I guess you're going to have to time your sales, and you'll have to go like a month or two without service. Sorry, I'm here trying to brainstorm on how to save money on this, because I liked Mars's idea of like trying to, drop your subscription for a couple months or whatever, and then picking it back up whenever they have those huge sales that they do. Yeah.
And I heard that affected people's accounts if they did that. Like if they took it and they got like, you have to get off, right? So you have to cancel your subscription and then renew it as like a brand new person kind of coming in. I don't know if it affected some people's accounts when they did that.
I don't know. We'll have to brainstorm on that. And Orah, you've had your hand up for so long. Back to Orah.
Oh, yeah, no, I just, how it is. People say stuff and then it's like, so Rich, back to you, what you were saying about, well, they should have done this, they should have done that, promise this, promise that. The problem with that is there have been some broken promises. I mean, they're not transparent about stuff, but then when they do plug stuff, it doesn't materialize. And like the features getting built out and then they're buried, right? Articles, video, what the new thing is communities. We're all supposed to rush over and do communities now. Who knows what it'll be next month. and then boom, they drop it. So I honestly feel what's happening with that is that they're getting redirected. Labor, they don't have a large team. This becomes the priority. We're going to work on spaces this month, but then the priority shifts. And so if there's any bugs, if there's anything that still needed to be done, that goes way on a back burner. And unfortunately, customer service has never been a priority for X or Tesla or, any of them. I think Tesla's doing okay, but it's still not where I think it should be for like one of the best products in the world. And we need to, they got to fix this. If they don't fix it, again, as much as I love this platform, it has no viable future.
Oh, I hate hearing that. Because I agree with a lot of what you're saying, and I know it could go either way. Like, I hope I do think this could become the everything, everyone app, as Vlad liked to share with us in your space the other day, Orah. I think it has a lot of potential. But yeah, it could totally go either way. It really could. And I want to welcome Timo up here. I don't know if I've ever spoken with you before, but yeah, welcome to the space. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Hey, yes, you have. I just rebranded to GMGN bullshit account just for the lulz. I've been here earlier and many times. But yeah, the point that people are making about customer service, I think, funnily enough, that has been one of the only improvements lately, because I actually been talking to a human, and actually the bot escalated one of my requests to the humans, and it's been strange. Like, they used to be just all bullshit bot answers, but lately I've been talking to a human a lot on the ad premium, and I don't know what happened there, but that has been pretty much the only nice improvement. I did the 5 million impressions to get the subscription eligibility, and since then my account has been buried into some kind of bullshit hell. I put up a pretty good, in my opinion, of course, a thread this morning. Started out with the good old GM because it gets 3.6 million weekly hits if you look at the radar picture that I posted on the comment section here, and I got like 100 views on it, and one account with 45,000 followers reposted that increased the reach for like 100. So I'm in a rut of just hell. So I rebranded for shits and giggles, because there's nothing that really now gives me any pleasure on posting or putting out any value content. I'm just hanging out on the spaces with my friends and trying to push people into my newsletter and start making money some other way. Obviously, I do have my 9 to 5, so it's not like I depend on this platform, but at the moment, it's just bullshit. GN, that's what gets you followers, and that's what gets you so-called engagement, but it's
do the engagement,
yeah, but I think what Oni was posting about, that Sage dude who has gotten like $900 payouts, and I went through his replies and it's all just GM. Like, if you search GM, you get like, and put the latest, you'll have like 2 hours worth of just like 1 minute old posts of GMs you can just like put a GM into if you want to. I mean, it's retarded. I did a test like the other day. I was able to rack up like 200 posts, like replies in like less than an hour, just like GM. There's like millions of them waiting for you to engage with. So yeah, I'll cut the rant, and there's more hands. So yeah.
No, thank you, Timo. Yeah, that's you make a great point there. And I wonder, like, so sometimes you want to do a genuine good morning, good night, because if you are somebody who is on X, like 4, 5, 6 plus hours a day, and you actually have friends and stuff, like, and you've spent your day on X chatting with them and everything, you want to be like, hey guys, I'm going to bed. Good night. Hope you have a good day. So I wonder how can the algorithm ever differentiate that type of post from the ones that are specifically engagement farming? There's got to be a way. But yeah, thank you for sharing that, Timo. And did I cut you off? I don't know if you had anything else to say there. And then I think, Orah, is your hand back up or is it just my computer glitching out?
It is back up because I went and I looked to see. I'm an annual subscriber. So I paid, I think it was 189, but part of that was tax. So it was like 160. I lost the page. Here it is. 168 is what I paid last November. So I'm up for renewal in November and it's saying it'll be 398. That's a huge increase, you guys. That is huge.
Yeah, that's huge. You're right. And I'm afraid a lot of people are going to be forced to make that decision of going with Premium Plus or continuing their subscription to creators. I think it's going to hurt us in multiple ways. And Mandy, did you have your hand back up?
Yeah, I think what's going to scare a lot of people too is when they first come onto the platform, that's a good chunk of money to put down, even monthly and yearly. And then you have a brand new account, you're not getting any hits, you're trying to make yourself on this platform and grow. How it's going to be very hard for people. And ultimately, like Timo said, a lot of people are going to the good morning, good night post because that's what gains interaction and like one-liners and stuff like that on here. Somebody had posted, like a big account on here was saying like videos are just going far right now. And I kind of replied back. I was like, actually, no, they're not. Like when I post one of my nature videos, I'm like, it doesn't go that far. I'm like, if I post a one-liner question, it just flies. And they're like, no offense or anything, but maybe you just need to make better content. So I'm like, no, I don't think that's it at all. It's just not me. It's everybody that feels the same way. So like, I don't know. It's kind of defeating, but like ultimately I'm on here to share my pictures, my videos, and talk with people and stuff like that. So like, I can't get discouraged. Like, that's why I'm here on X. Like, I don't want to turn around and become like a reply guy, one-liner question person, good morning poster, because like, that's not why I came on here. So like, I'm just going to be genuine and be myself and just keep going. But yeah, it's like Orah said, like I paid like in Canadian, it was like $350 or $399 for a whole year. I didn't check what it's going to be with the new increase, but that's insane.
Yeah, that's Orah.
Yeah, Mandy, I want to say thank you. Thank you for not going there. I'm encouraging people continue posting with passion and purpose. And, because like the good morning, good night, I'm really going to have to love you to keep you on my list and engage with you if that's what you're doing and nothing but that. And the other thing, Mandy, is I hate to break it to you. Your videos suck. Don't you know how to do this? Go to TikTok, copy it, then bring it over. They're banging all over X. All the big accounts that are doing it, and they're banging, and they're getting paid well. So it's just original content that's created on X that isn't going to get paid here. Sorry for yelling. I'm pissed.
I love that, Orah.
Okay.
And my strategy for TikTok is to take screenshots and screen recordings of my X posts and post them on TikTok. And that actually, they do better over there on TikTok than they do here. And I have 15 followers on TikTok.
So we're developing a strategy.
So now
here.
Now I need to delete the original posts, download them off TikTok, and repost them.
Yes, everything you have on TikTok, put it on X, and everything you have on X, put it on TikTok.
And then, just an endless loop. Yeah. So Mandy, that might be a strategy for you too. But yeah. So we had, I think, Chris and then Timo, I believe.
I think people should start putting fake TikTok tags on their videos when they go to put them up, just to make them look like they came from TikTok. And maybe that's part of the secret. Yeah. To the point that Vlad was making, and I don't like to be a Debbie Downer, but with the headwinds that X has, they kind of need to make up in other areas. And so things like customer service, things like all those other things, they should be hitting to the nines to kind of win more people over. And that's kind of the problem is right now, I think they're still burning through political capital, if you will, on things like quote unquote free speech and all of that. I don't think it lasts super long on that front. But I do like the idea that the best way to monetize on X is to post all your content to TikTok.
That's a great suggestion there. You know what? Something I had, just random thought. Sorry to kind of interject here, but what if X gave us all okay, you know how there are a lot of X employees who are very active on the platform, like Kettlebell Dan, Zach. Anyway, we can all name a bunch of them, and they're all pretty great. I love Dan. I love his content and everything. But what if X somehow created a department of employees who were very active on the platform, just as they were, but in the purpose of just for customer service. Like, they were active X account holders that were here just to help us. And like, we were each assigned our own person who helped us, almost like a server at a restaurant, you know, and each employee like catered to like 10,000 different accounts, and whatever, they would have to break it up. X could break it up however, and this department might have to be pretty huge, but I don't know, just a random thought there. Who was next, Kate?
Timo's up next.
Yeah, so I have a customer service experience on this platform since when we used to get paid for good content. I posted one of my screenshots on the payday as per everyone else did, and Premium reposted that. Since then, I get around 10 to 20 queries about why I'm not getting paid and why this and that. So those poor souls who would ever want to cater to all the crybabies. But yeah, it's a dilemma, and I think like an 80% price hike just for Grok 3, that actually, if you look at these statistics that they're posting, they're just blatantly not posting the results of 03. So it's not probably beating that. And then radar, like how does that work? As an Android user, I still have video spaces. I don't know if anyone ever does those anymore. And the videos tab for Android, please, never. Probably going to take a couple of years too. So yeah, it's weird things going on in here. And I understand it's a US platform, but the America first, the iOS first thing has got to go at some point. But at least we got the Grok 3 now. That worked in the morning, but now with America's online, it's not working for me because there's too much traffic. The deep think thing is not working. So yeah, who knows? It's gonna probably calm down after the hype is over. But it was pretty good. I gotta say, it was pretty good. But yeah, not worth 40. And definitely for new people coming in, Premium Plus is like, hell no, what I'm getting for that.
Yeah, that's a lot. You know what they're going to have to do for new accounts is they're going to have to set up a referral program. Like, they're going to have to, because nobody is going to come to X that's never been on this platform and be like, oh yeah, $40 for a month. Sure. What am I getting? Oh yeah, it sounds great. Like, that's like more than Netflix. I don't know. I mean, you can't compare it to that, I guess. But anyway, they are going to have to do a referral program so that they get the first month free, something to hook them, you know, so that they get that serotonin pump of people liking their posts and stuff like that. Whatever has us all addicted, they're going to have to do that to the other new people before they expect them to pay that $40 a month. Yeah.
If they could get the TikTok thing where you get like 1 million views for your couple of first videos, then everyone's going to be hooked, and they're going to get into the payout program like in less than a half a year, when it kind of makes sense. And it would also make sense if everyone who has the subscription would get like referral money for referring people. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
they do have to do something about it.
Yeah, that would be great, because then obviously we would promote X a little bit. It'd be more incentive for us to actively try to get our family members and stuff on X, because we get a cut of whatever they pay, you know, if they become an active Premium Plus subscriber. Anyway, we all know how referral programs work. So who was next, Kate? I know you're good at keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, everyone's hands here went up kind of like at the same time when I was looking away. But we haven't heard from Gunky yet, so let's go to him first, and then Chris and Orah can fight it out between them.
Oh, hi guys. I'm just a lowly pleb with no tick. So ha you. Yeah, I've got a couple of things. You may have already covered it, but I have heard it before. People saying that Elon doesn't really have any experience in marketing anything. Tesla famously didn't have any adverts, and you just saw a stream of YouTubers having a go in one of his cars, and just the look on their face when they put their foot down, that kind of sold the cars. He rang up NASA and said, hey, I've got a rocket. Do you need any help with your space station? They're like, yeah, nice one. And like, there you go, 100 billion, and let us know when it runs out, So he's never really had to sell anything, I don't think. they don't tell us what's happening. Yeah, Grok 3 is coming, but I've found as a lowly pleb, I've got no Grok 2. I've no Grok at all now. And I didn't have it long enough to feel like, oh, okay, I'll pay the basic just so I can get it. He didn't let me have it. Didn't gestate long enough. It didn't become part of my life. But the other thing, which I've thought for quite a long time, really, since he introduced the whole idea of paying, is I think he thinks of it like a big game. I remember I play a thing called World of Tanks, and sometimes I pay, sometimes I don't. But I remember joining this big space game. I can't remember what it was, massive multiplayer game, probably 10, 15 years ago. And you went out and you had a choice of like 4 or 5 spaceships. And you realized really quickly that if you weren't prepared to put your hand in your pocket, it might be free, but you're never going to win the game. And even if you spent all that money and got the biggest spaceship, you'd still need the skills to sort of, you'd still need to learn the game and try not to get killed too many times while you were doing that kind of thing. I don't know. X does feel a bit like that to me. It's like, A, you've got to pay to play, and B, you've got to play by the rules, GM, 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 GN, GN, GM, repeat, 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 repeat. I could spend 3 days, with no sleep, creating a masterwork of, not that I do, but, my master meme, my God meme, and 3 people see it and a couple of people like it and go, wow, that's brilliant. And I'm like, oh, okay then, so I'm kind of a nobody. And then you see some of the grifters and you just sort of think all they're doing is being divisive. And somehow or other, that's what pays, is annoying people so that they just fill your timeline with you're completely wrong and you're an idiot kind of thing. But you're getting paid for that and laughing all the way to the bank. And it's like, I don't know. That's just a few thoughts I've had about the whole thing. Pay to play.
I think it's great. In the gaming analogy, I 100% agree. I've made that connection before too. I think that X does have a lot of the similar mechanics going on in the background that we don't see, that a lot of like role-playing games and stuff like that have, or fighting games and stuff going on in the backgrounds, like, statistics, scores, cooldowns and stuff like that for our posts, different types of interactions and engagements, having negative effects on our account versus like positive effects, like overusing your stamina and having to have it cool down before you can use it again, as far as like the amount of reach that a post gets when you give it. Like, I've definitely made those connections before, and I do think there is a lot of that because, think about it, the mechanics that go into like gaming and stuff like that, it's all just mathematics. And same thing for the algorithm that determines our reach and, the health of our accounts is just all mathematics. So yeah, that's great. And I think Orah was next, or unless you had anything else to say, Gunky, sorry.
Oh, well, just the other thing I've noticed is it's like there's this mystical text called the algorithm. And like nobody knows what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, I've had so many differing opinions. Oh, if you do this, oh, you block too many people. I'm like, yeah, but there's loads of porn bots. I don't want them. Yeah, well, you can't block too many of them because that'll, and it's sort of how you. There's like so many like old wives' tales. I wish somebody at X would just say, hey, look, here's an answer to these. I'm going to do a 2-hour Q&A for everybody to see. And, myths and legends of what the algorithm is or isn't doing and how to succeed kind of thing. And what are we going to do about GN, GM, 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 GN, GM? I'm a reply guy. There was no such thing as a reply guy until Twitter got monetized on any platform, really, from what I could see, or any game for that matter. I don't know what the equivalent is. There was no such thing, I just reply 1,000 times a day, just for the first thing that comes into my head. And that can somehow earn me money. I'm like, what's that? That's like a deranged drunk on the high street in the town hall, town square, getting paid for it, Give me some money, give me some money. I don't know. It's an annoying place, really, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, the reply game, I see it as grinding. You're out there grinding. You're building up your score so that you're pushing out that outbound engagement so that the algorithm gives you that inbound engagement in return. And with that, let's go to Orah because she's had her hand up for quite a while. And then I believe Chris is after her and then Timo again.
It wasn't that long. Okay, so first back to you, Rich. You were saying, oh, darn. Forgot it. So I guess I'll go to the other points. Oh, I remember. I've been a huge believer in this platform since Elon bought it. I'm a huge Elon fan. I honestly would not recommend I wouldn't be able to, any good conscience, recommend or refer a friend and get a month off at this point. I feel so trepidatious about what's going on. So that's number one. Number two, I did see the payouts. A lot of the people doing the GM and GN did see sharp declines. Not all of them were demonetized like Saigon, whatever, but they did get a lot less. And, I look on the Social Blade and I can see, yep, they're still doing their replies. They just didn't get paid. And I did a little bit more because I was on an engagement vacation in January. So I was like doing maybe 60 outbound a day. I do believe that there is like a power up when you are doing outbound engagement, that it gives you more visibility, and not just to the people you're engaging on. So that was weird to notice, but that's definitely something I noticed this month. And then as far as the rest of it, it feels like maybe it's the bizarrest IQ test on the planet. Like, you're right. There's all these things that can hurt your account. There's, and it's really created this huge market for people who are claiming that they know, whether they know or not. People pay a lot of money on off-platform subscriptions to learn about the secrets of X. And, if I were in charge, I would put them all out of business by just making sure that we had one account, X Premium or whatever, where when you wrote things, you had a question, you could come in and say it. But the way the accounts are now, a lot of them are inactive. The X, the branded accounts, they posted a month or two ago. They started and then it seems like they stop. I don't even know, just having some answers. Somebody was asking, who's in charge of the program now? It used to be Eric Ferraro. And if he heard enough questions, complaints, or whatever, he would address it eventually off of his personal account. And I always thought that was so bizarre that wasn't done, at the platform level from an official X account. And I think that does need to happen. And then the last thing is that, some accounts, they're not all equal. So a lot of the more established accounts that are making good money still, they've openly talked about platform manipulation and, doing things that are totally against the rules to get their accounts to that size. And I saw a big account today, and I'm not going to name names. I just happened to see the post right when they made it. And I was the first commenter, and there were already 3 reshares with no comments. And I watched over the next 15 minutes as they just got reshared. And I went in and looked at who's resharing them. It was all bots. And I'm like, crap, I really like this person, but I am now thoroughly convinced that they're engaging in platform manipulation. And it sucks because one of my favorite accounts and somebody I almost know personally, and I'm just like, wow. And then how much can I really judge somebody if that seems to be the only thing that works? I'm not willing to do it, but
it's disappointing. It's disappointing when it's so blatantly obvious, and a lot of us are here because this is the free speech platform, and manipulated speech is not free speech. I don't think. Not when it's being manipulated and it's giving an amplification that it wouldn't actually have if it were, genuine people listening and responding to whatever is being said. It can lead to a lot of bad situations, I think, if we allow that type of manipulation to continue. And with Chris, please go ahead.
I was just going to say, reframing the conversation a little bit. Let's round numbers here. Let's just assume that you're paying a developer $200K, right? And with the new pay increase, you're actually paying for 4.8 hours of a developer's time annually with a Premium Plus account. Now, if you reduce that a little bit, you're also paying for how many hours of a customer support person. So it gets to be kind of interesting when you start breaking those numbers out. Exactly how many people does it take, Premium Plus people, does it take to pay for a Zach? You know what I mean? How does that actually pan out? To what Rich was saying with the replies, I've totally seen that, or I should say with posts. If I still play in the realm where I'll go to some of these bigger accounts and I'll make snide comments or post images and stuff just for fun. And those will take off and I'll get hundreds of thousands of views. But that just buries the rest of my account when I do that. That will be very popular and then I'll see nothing for any. So there is some kind of penalty for success, whether or not it's your reply or anyone else's. So I've experienced that myself. I think there's some deliberate head in the sand kind of stuff going on here. I know there's certain individuals that when they pop into a space and the conversation is wrong, they duck right back out. They know what's going on, and they either can't do much about it or they don't care. It's one of the two. So to the point earlier that Gunky was saying, I think the biggest problem, again, that you have here is if nobody is tasked with chasing this down, then there's no heads to roll when there's a problem, right? And I think that's really what we're seeing here is everyone's working on everything. No one's tasked with doing anything, and there's no one responsible for any one thing. So it's nobody's fault.
What do we have to do? Or petition Linda, right? Is that what we're doing? Petitioning Linda.
Yeah.
Linda.
In that video of the little boy that's Linda, please listen, Linda. And like some really short, bullet points after it, like splice it together is what I'm imagining, or however people are going to do it. Like, I'm not in control. I'm just throwing out the ideas out there, and hopefully we can come up with some little bit of an umbrella brand so that, as they gain traction, ex-employees will realize, crap, they're all talking. They're getting on the same page. Maybe come up with a unified hashtag. And I guess Linda please would be a good hashtag, right?
That would be.
And yeah, I do believe that by focusing a message directly to Linda, it might not get to her, but the ex-employees are going to see it. And I know, like me, when I've worked in larger corporations, I definitely want to handle that problem before the CEO finds out about it, if it's under my area of, responsibility.
Yeah.
I love that strategy.
Yeah, go ahead, Kate.
Yeah, I love that strategy. So, Orah, you and we can host a space to get this going, because I think that's a fantastic strategy. Get a hashtag or just a inundation of posts, all like, okay, at noon, post your schedule, or everyone schedule a post to go out, with the same hashtag, and let's get on the trend, or the same keywords, and let's get on the trending, and something like that. It might be a cool idea instead of the, petitions and email campaigns and all this stuff. Let's rewrite it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And what we're talking about is like a coordinated message to Linda, what is Casino, about our ideas for X. Orah can elaborate on that. But I like your idea, Kate. Make it like a timed coordinated event, and people could not only post it, like a bunch of people could all pin it to their pages at the same time, and community admins could all pin it to their communities at the same time. I mean, if you want a message to spread quickly, you're going to have to make some moves like that, Yeah, Orah, please.
I forgot.
Sorry, I saw your hand. My computer, the hands don't go up and down very well.
And I can't write with my left hand, so I can't make sticky notes. I'll remember in a second, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah. Well, we can go to Timo, I believe. Hey, Timo.
Yeah, Gunky, I think you're talking about EVE Online, and been there, done that, still winning EVE after 2 years. And there's a lot of, like Gunky was saying, with that specific game, it's a super hard game. It's a super free speech game. It's a super free market game. It's an insane game. There has been like university thesis done out of it on the free market system that it runs. But there has been problems with that game. One of the problems that we're seeing here is they're not listening to their customers. They're not listening to their player base, their creators. Also, there was a problem with free speech there, where they started banhammering accounts who were too rowdy on Reddit and on game. And they're actually, like what you were talking about just the other second there ago, they rallied a revolution where all the paid players who were running this 2-year-long war on the servers, they rallied into the free player space where everything is free and all the free players are safe from all the evilness of the rich players. And they crashed the server basically just by hammering all the big spaceships into that one little node. And it got their attention for a bit, but then it turned into more microtransactions. And that game has been dying for 20 years, but still it gets new players and it still survives. But yeah, you can do stuff, but you really do have to organize things. And I like what I'm hearing on this space. But yeah, if you want to get hooked on stuff, go to EVE Online.
Yeah, that's good. And I liked what Rich said too about reaching out to the communities, right? So the people on here that are admins of communities, there's a lot of people here in the space right now that run communities or moderators or have a few different things going, maybe in different communities. So that might be a way to really get the buzz out for something like that. If it is like a coordinated message that we want to make sure it breaks through, because not just me posting and pinning it to my community will break through. Maybe it would, I don't know. But if we all do it, someone's will. We don't know whose it would be, but someone's would. So that might be an interesting angle to get at. And I'm guessing, Orah, when you threw your hand up earlier, you were probably going to respond to my idea of us doing a space together to try and organize something like this. So I don't know if that's what you forgot to respond to. But anyway, we'll go to the hands and you can we'll check back with you. Because I think with your experience in this, as in being like with your election experience and other things with community leading, you might be able to help with this. And then me just having zero life other than X, it's probably a good match. All right, so let's go to Gunky and then Mars.
Oh, yeah, God. I have so many thoughts in these spaces. I'm like my mind, it's how my mind works. Yeah, I was thinking, one thing, I don't know if people know of a book called The Trial by a guy called Franz Kafka, and people talk about Kafka, and basically he wakes up one morning and there's a knock at the door and he's served papers, but it's never explained to him what he's being charged with or what, only that he's in a lot of trouble and he has to get a brief, and the brief's like, this is serious, but they never actually tell him what he's done wrong, kind of thing. There's a little bit of that going on. The Yakarino thing, what about Yakety Yak? I thought we could make tons of memes based on the old coaster, but please talk back rather than don't talk back. Yeah, Yakety Yak, hashtag Yakety Yak, please talk back. Green Man could maybe do a cover, change the lyrics a bit, and we'll just pump it. Yeah. We need.
Oh, that's so good. That's funny. Yeah, because we'd have a positive spin, so it doesn't sound like we're making fun of her. Because we do actually, I think for the most part, everyone likes her in the position she's at. So that'd be funny to do.
Yeah,
we just want to know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? We want to know how to play this game. We know it's a game. We just don't know what the rules are.
And of course, we got to get Green Man involved. Like, come on, he'll do a video and it'll go viral. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Mars.
I love what you guys are talking about. And I was part of the effort that Monetization Coach put together for the Great Pause 2024. That was a hashtag. And we had a date and a time all lined out when we would all start posting that hashtag. So Empress, my daughter, she wrote a song called The Great Pause. We published it to a video that I did, just because everybody was posting something different. So I did a video of explaining what was going on with my account and why I was, I don't understand why I'm paused. Obviously, I'm a real person, because they were looking for people that weren't real or whatever. And I woke up, I had it all scheduled to go and everything, and her music was to it. And I woke up with 20,000 views. And for me at that time, I think I had 2,000 followers, but maybe not. Maybe it was more like 1,000. So that was huge. And so it went around. It got noticed. We were able to get a lot of people unpaused because we made this effort showing we're real people. Obviously, if we were a fake account, we're not going to be organized in that way. And then, so it took some time, but it really worked and really worked well. And then the second one was after that, there was this weird shadow banning happening. And so Empress wrote a song called Shadow Ban. She actually has these released on all streaming apps. So you can listen to them. They're great. They're pretty fun. They're parodies on other songs. So it worked out great. But shadow banned, same kind of thing, because we were having this awful problem. Well, eventually they changed it. It got fixed because we kind of all made a big effort on that as well. But I'm just thinking back to that, like, how did Coach organize it? Well, he did posts about it. I don't think he was in a chat, but I know there was a chat that I was in where we kind of coordinated things, maybe sent DMs to people, things like that. And then so I was thinking, like, maybe we open a special chat just for coordinating this. And then, how do we get the message out to, kind of draw more and more people in? And then, having a schedule, same kind of thing, and a time and a place, day that we do it. Early morning, like I remember I had that scheduled for 4 a.m. my time, Pacific time, because the East Coast was waking up. And that's why it was so big when I woke up, because I don't get up at 4. But yeah, so everything was timed like really specifically, and Coach really had thought it out really well. And he wasn't paused. He was just helping people. It was great. And then my other thought is with communities, you were talking about this, Empress is a admin or moderator to a huge community that if she posts in there, and I know, she has to make it Elon related, which fine, but she did one and posted it in there this last week and got the 2 million views. Like she can make it take off in there. So if she pins it something, it takes off. Even if it doesn't get to 2 million, it'll do 50,000 or more. So yeah, so there's some thoughts. We have a great network of people and people with connections. So I think we can really get it done.
Yeah, I agree, Mars. We can absolutely do this, especially if we do get some of the more high profile accounts involved. And if we time it just right, and if we have a large enough group of people that are doing it, we could time it kind of sequentially or whatever, like every hour, so that like every time zone is like getting it hit at like just the right time. And you know what you said about Empress making the song about X? What did you say it was called? Shadow Ban or something?
One's called Shadow Ban and the other one is called The Great Pause.
Well, that's awesome, because I've made 3 songs about life on X. So I think me and Empress should get together and like collab post together or something, and like list all of our songs about life on X. Or maybe we can do like a collaborative life on X album or something. I'll have to.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, do it.
I think Orah was next.
So yeah, I would like to keep that in mind as well. The solidarity that happened during the Great Pause. Now, I wasn't even remotely close to monetization, but I saw this injustice happening. And I made some really strong relationships with some people like Mars and Fauna and, like just as like almost an outside supporter, right? Like I wasn't doing it because I thought I was going to get monetized. I was doing it because there was an injustice. And I think that the main thing for creators here right now, and Mars, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is having that sense of solidarity. You're not alone. This is happening to all of us. Like, as I've been seeing people talking about how they've got zero visibility, and they do, it's system wide. It's not just you. And, having something to work towards together, I think that might save the platform all by itself, right? Like, I was saying, if we don't do something differently, it's not going well. And I, again, love this platform. I love the mission. I want to see it thriving. And if that meant they decide tomorrow to do away with the revenue program, great, do it. If you can't fix the problems with it, I think it would be far better for us as creators for it to just not be there at all. And I know that's not a popular opinion, but at least it would be fair. And then I think all the garbage that we're all sick of would go away.
Yeah, that's a valid point. If removing the monetization program meant that my content did better, my engagement from my audience was more authentic, and I think the potential for networking would be better, because it would all authenticity is what we want, right? Like we don't want these botted responses. We don't want responses and engagement that's motivated purely out of the will to increase your monetization payout. So yeah, if that's the answer, then I'm okay with that. And I just wanted to say really quickly, thank you all for coming to the space today. We're still going to go for a little while here. KSJ, a lot of you follow her. She's going to be launching a very similar space. It's going to be centered around the same topic. She's out running some errands right now, but she's going to send me a DM as soon as it launches. I'm thinking within the next 20 to 30 minutes. So I'll let everybody know when that happens, and then we can kind of just shift the whole room into her space, and it should be a really big space and a really good conversation. But in the meantime, if anybody wants to come up and chat with us, please feel free to request the speaker, the microphone. We'll bring you up as a speaker. Raise your hand. We'll get to chatting about this. If you have any ideas or suggestions or comments or feedback about your experiences or how you think this might affect the platform, with the price of Premium Plus going up to $40 from $22 per month, and then also the Grok 3 release, please come up, chat with us. And we're going to throw it back to Gunky.
Well, I'm just saying, I used to be a bit of an impresario in London. I used to book bands into places and stuff and make posters telling everyone they were going to see the most brilliant band. And, well, it wasn't, but a lot of people turned up. But, we need a date. And I think the most catchy date coming up is from the British date is 25/2/25 or 2/25/25 if you're American. So 2/25/25, we launch Operation Yakarino. Gives us 7 days to get some memes and stuff together, and we'll all turn on everybody's notifications, everybody notify everybody, and we'll just flood. I can get 20 memes together before then. Dystopian nightmare world, never knowing where you stand type things. And the only other thing was I was just quickly looking at Life on Mars lyrics by David Bowie. And yeah, it definitely lends itself to changing them around. Don't know. I think Green Man's the guy, isn't he? From.
Ooh, Christopher has a voice in Udio that sounds just like David Bowie, so he could maybe do a song or something too if Green Man's not up for it.
Well, I love that Mickey Mouse has grown up a cow. I've always just loved that line, And I'm like, yeah, this thing's turning into a cow. We need to kind of steer it. We need fluffy bunnies again. He's just created this stampeding herd of bison, and they're all drunk as well. But yeah, cool.
What do you say, Christopher?
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Christopher.
Yeah, if somebody wants to feed me the lyrics and the prompt, yeah, I can provide the voice. I don't really have time to do much else. But if somebody wants to do that, I can give you a David Bowie's voice.
Yeah, that'd be cool to alter the lyrics maybe a little bit so it, has the message of what we want to get across in it. And yeah, maybe Green Man would be good for that. We're nominating him for pretty much a shitload of work here.
Maybe somebody should actually talk to him before we keep going down this road.
I've got to interrupt because when he was saying the day, Dallas wanted to do a Green Man Day on St. Patrick's Day. And Green Man, I don't think he wants to be the face of this, but I also think he is the face of this because when he posted his payout, I instantly saw ripples all across his platform among the creator community. And he wasn't doing it to bitch necessarily. He was doing it so that, with that transparency that X isn't showing, he didn't want people thinking something that wasn't true. But if we were going to do, I think that the 25th might be a little bit fast, but I'm also thinking that this is something that's going to have to gain traction and we're going to have to stay on it. So Payout Fridays is probably our day to start making waves. And maybe we can figure out some fun stuff to do with that. But then, also, please don't tell Green Man. It's going to be a surprise that St. Patrick's Day is Green Man Day. But I do think that, to me, he's the champion of the small creator. He was doing really well for a minute there. And I mean, guys, if you've ever seen his metrics, you would know there's absolutely no way that he makes less than me. But he does every time. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. He should be getting paid a lot. He has such a dedicated audience. It's crazy. And yeah.
Well, we love him.
We love him. Yeah. I mean, come on. He makes me want to improve my content, it's he sets the bar higher for all of us in a good way. Yeah, so Elon's alien slime pet, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm a bit mad just because I don't have Grok 3 at all, which is sad.
Oh, no.
Really sad, but premium subscription, so Hopefully, I really, really do hope that they will spread it to the premium subscription, because I'm not going to upgrade to a higher price subscription. I'm already paying enough for a year.
Yeah, $40 is a lot of money, right? And you're a dedicated fan, and so you're not going to make that move.
I just don't think since my dad pays for my subscription, it's a year. We do annually. We don't do monthly. We do it's by year. So
Right.
I don't know how much it would be for a year. Because I got it on the web because it's cheaper.
What'd you say?
$398 is what mine says it will be. So.
Nope.
Ouch.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll stay with my 84 a year. I'm good. Holy crap.
Yeah, I hope they do roll out Grok 3 to you. But I wonder when they do that, what changes are they going to make to Premium Plus, to justify the difference in cost there? Because there's quite a difference there between Premium and Premium Plus now. It's a $32 difference in price. Yeah, it's crazy. But that sucks that you don't get to use Grok 3. Like, that's disappointing.
At least I'll be the comparison for people who have Grok 3. I have Grok 2, which is really weird because right now me and Kate did that this morning. Grok 2 was talking about empathy. Grok 3 was not. That was a little bit weird.
They got to fix that.
Because Grok 3 was saying, Grok 3 was like, I don't have any. And then Grok 2 is like, oh, I have like technical sort of empathy. So I'm like, they did something.
They're kind of saying the same thing in different ways. They're like, technically, I can understand empathy.
Yeah. So I hope eventually they'll roll it out to everyone, or at least to premium for people who can't afford $40 a month or $300 a year.
I hope so too. And maybe they'll just do other things so they'll go ahead and give premium access to Grok 3 as well, but maybe they'll give Premium Plus images without watermarks, or faster response time, or, stuff like that.
Something would be good.
And who do we...
Okay. Everybody.
You go, Orah. Sorry.
Yeah, I did have a thought that I had missed. When you were talking about if they did away with monetization, the authenticity factor. And I have a friend that recently dropped his blue check mark because he was just like, the monetization program's nuts. So he dropped it and went back to unverified. And he said that the quality of followers that he has experienced over the last 2 weeks has gone way up. Like the people and his visibility. He said his visibility is maybe a little bit better, but he definitely was talking about the quality of people, because the motivation, if you don't have a check mark, is actual authentic communication. Like anybody that's talking to you, unless they're trying to grift you somehow, right? They're not talking to the unverified unless they're actually interested in having a conversation with the unverified, as opposed to making 0.0001 cent. Yeah, that was all.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's something to think about. Huh. And then let me see who we got next. Kate. Sorry, I got a little distracted for a second there.
That's all right. We've got Chris and Patricia both with their hands up. I didn't see who was first, but Patricia's a new speaker up on stage, so let's give her a chance to add her thoughts to the conversation first, and then we'll go to Chris.
Really quick, I'm going to head out. It's been good speaking with you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Hi, Christopher. Thank you for joining us. And anybody down there listening, please check out Christopher's content. He's an awesome creator here on X. He's always working on some pretty amazing stuff. So yeah, check out his page, give him a like, give him a follow. And thank you, Christopher.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, everybody. I just hopped on here to see what everybody thought of the all of a sudden $40 price hike. Seems like nobody's really a fan of it. And I will say that, I was on this app before Elon ever got involved with it, and before monetization was even a dream. And I mean, if it goes away, I'm still staying. I'm still going to do what I do. So as far as the authenticity of interactions, I mean, it depends on the circles that you're in, honestly. Because when I first came, I was focused on members of the royal family and people that like to watch what they do and what they wear and what all they get up to. And that used to be a very, very tight little bunch of people. And I think if we were to put all of the drama aside from things that have happened in the last few years, that same tight group would still be there. So I really think the authenticity, the connection really just depends on the circles you run in.
God, that's a really good point, Patricia. Because we kind of build our own groups here on X, and we do have, that's one of the things that we have control over is who we follow and who we engage with. So yeah, that's a really good point.
Right. Like most of the people that I follow used to have blue check marks, but they were, you had to jump through how many hoops to get verified by Twitter before you could just, do the subscription thing. And most of those people dropped the blue checks or lost them and never bothered to subscribe and verify and all that. And so I still talk to them because I know who they were. Hell, I've gone to London and had lunch with half a dozen of them. So, blue check or not, you're going to have the community you want if you are dedicated at building it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. 100%. And yeah, I agree. And Chris, I think that you had your hand up there next.
Yeah, I brought this up a little while ago and everyone just kind of dismissed it, but I think it was a critical point. At one point, Musk had mentioned something about if you got X amount of verified followers, you would instantly become verified, that kind of thing. And I know that people are like, oh, that's just something he said. But the critical thing there is that kind of made X into a meritocracy in the sense that if your content was good enough and you got enough followers, and I'm not going to get into the here or there's of any of the games that people play with that, but just the notion that you could start in the nosebleeds and you could work your way up to being a verified account without necessarily, I don't have to spend money on YouTube to make money. I don't have to spend money anywhere else to make money on a lot of these things. And they need, if they want to see content grow, they're going to need a path like that for people to get to monetization. And I can't, the whole pay to play thing is just never going to launch.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think that you should be able to be monetized without paying to be monetized. It doesn't make sense. Like your statistics, your analytics, your metrics, that should prove that your account is worthy of being monetized. And if they want payment for that, then whatever, take it out of the little bit that they give you, like balance it out or something. Yeah, it is silly. That's a really good point, Chris. Who do we got next?
Yeah, Gunky has his hand up. I wanted to just chime in on that because once you start to really understand what all the other platforms that do offer monetization for creators specifically, there's nothing that you have to pay to get involved in that. I don't know about Meta though, because they now you can pay for the check mark there. If anyone didn't know this, they implemented it not too soon after X implemented the pay for a check mark, and everyone's like, "Oh, it isn't real," But it's just, Meta has the exact same thing. There might be some, rules as far as how long you've had an account. I don't know, and you get ID verified, whatever. And YouTube's like that too. If you qualify for monetization, you have to make sure that you're an established user or verify with ID in some way. And that's enough for them to get you into that, just as long as you are providing value, because really, ultimately, they're making money off of your content, whether you're monetized or not. And X is certainly doing that as well. And they're making money out of my own wallet as well, because I'm paying them. So it's like a double whammy of you're taking from me and my art, imagine someone just coming in and being like, oh, I'm going to take this and make some money off of it and I'll bring it back, or you can look at it anytime you want, or have a copy of it, but I'm going to go make money with it. And you have to pay me for the pleasure. All right. So Gunky was next. And then we had YouGottaBillieve come up and Henry. So we'll go to you two after.
I just wanted to jump in real quick and say, Chris is absolutely correct. I mean, there should be some way to balance things out. I think the whole program would have developed differently if there had been a path where you could be monetized without paying into it. So
Yeah, I agree. And thank you for sharing that. And I want to say, if anybody is speaking and there's a bunch of hands up, but you have a direct response to somebody that just spoke, feel free to do exactly what Patricia just said. I think that helps the space conversation a little bit when people do that. So yeah. And let's move along to the next hand. Who was next?
It's all right. It's Gunky, then YouGottaBillieve, then Henry.
Well, just to say, I just got Grok 2 back. There's no notification or anything. Anyway, I asked him where he's been, blah, blah, blah. But I'll just quickly reduce that. How can a small group of creators get at Linda Yaccarino's attention in a good way to ask her to walk everyone through the algorithm on X going forward? And I'll post it. Where's the best place to stick? I'll stick the whole thing.
But it is interesting how you complained about that here in the space, and then somehow magically it starts working. People are listening.
Yeah. But it's got like it does have a 10-point plan. So it's given me a 10-point plan. Engage on X, use X to align with what she likes and what she's commented on. Hashtags and trends, obviously we talked about. Direct engagement, mention her, tag her, showcase your work, community noting, professional outreach, I don't know, collaborate with larger voices, event party, and it goes into some detail, but I thought if we post it, we can all do a little bit of the puzzle kind of thing, and and if anybody gets a bite, we'll pile in kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I love the community's strategy of this as well. I think that would be a huge part of it. Yeah. So keep working on that, Gunky. I'm glad you got the Grok back. So we got YouGottaBillieve up here on stage. Good to see you. What would you like to add to the convo?
Hey guys. Well, I think personally that this is highway robbery. It is disgusting, especially the fact that they doubled the price. Like the fact that it wasn't like a $5 hike or something like that. They just bold-assed, doubled the price from 20 to 40, basically. Like that tells you that they're planning more increases in the future. And if they were bold enough to do a big doubling of it right now, that's not going to stop them in the future from going $5 here or there, because they're testing the waters now and seeing who's going to stay with this $20 increase. And I'm one of the people who has paid for Premium Plus from the beginning, and my costs have been covered so far from the payments that I've received, but that won't be the case now. And I am seriously considering not just getting rid of Premium Plus, but Premium altogether, because when you look at it, honestly, I don't see the big reply boost from Premium to Premium Plus. They say you get a larger one. I don't know if anybody's ever actually been able to test that out and see if you do get one, but I think that's BS. I could be wrong. Who knows? But the other features you get along with it, and using Grok 3 so far is not worth an extra $20 a month, especially when you can go and pay for ChatGPT. And I get it. It's closed AI or whatever. I hate to break it to you, but it works better than Grok right now. Grok is still catching up. It's not worth an extra $20 a month. And they are catching up because they paid for all these data centers, and now they need to recoup this money, and they're getting it from their Premium Plus because all this ad revenue is gone. And, this platform is not heading in a good direction. It isn't. Creators have been, in the last few months, have been very discouraged. We've seen people post less and less, and people have just been leaving this platform. It's been hemorrhaging. And so they need to make some major changes in the next couple months for me to want to stay here, because it's slowly, not even slowly, it's very fast becoming a place I don't want to be with the changes they are making.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to respond to that because, you're right on. And I've been feeling the same way too, very, very recently. I mean, I love this app so much. I've just gotten so much from it. And just very, very recently, I'm thinking a lot along what you're saying, which is unfortunate. And I'm beginning to adapt my strategy already. Like, I love spaces, so I'm going to continue doing spaces, but I don't need anything special to do spaces. Yeah, maybe a check mark gets me a little bit more reach. I don't know. That reach is not ever something that I've benefited from on here. It's definitely just my own networking and people I've met and, collaborating with others and just word of mouth, kind of like people being like, oh yeah, you should talk to Kate, that kind of stuff. It's never a very rare replies to other people's messages when I get in there. It's not X putting my stuff out there and people finding me, very rarely. So yeah, I can do that work with or without a check mark. I feel like last night when I was watching the presentation, they said, oh, we're going to have this paid plan on grok.com or the Grok app.
Yes. What happened to that?
And you can pay for that extra so you can have your unlimited Grok 3 or whatever. And I was like, oh, perfect. So that means we'll have like beta access maybe as premium subscribers, or maybe they'll raise the price a little bit or something to cover that. Or maybe they'll just throttle the usage that we have to encourage us to pay for this other subscription if we need it. Something like that. And I'm like, okay, that's not the best version ever, but I'm like, okay, I can deal with that, like a throttled version of Grok where we get so many inquiries a day or something, so that there's not overusage or delayed beta release features or something, so that it doesn't sting like this. I mean, it's just silly.
Yeah, give us the option, like a new subscription level, like Premium Ultra. Like I think that would have been a better option than we could have chose to upgrade. We're not forced to pay more for what we currently have. We choose to upgrade to a new service where we get a new feature. Like I would have preferred that. Please go ahead, Kate. Sorry.
No, that was good. They wrap up my rant. Yeah, go ahead, respond. You got to believe.
Well, I was gonna say, what are you even getting from Grok 3? Like, I understand that they're saying you get access to Grok 3, right? But what does that mean? With Grok 2, we didn't get unlimited queries with Premium Plus. There's some times where you ran into these issues. So, I mean, where are we going to run into these issues with Grok 3? It's probably not unlimited. And okay, we get access to it, but what does that mean for an extra $20 a month?
Yep, I can definitely get more with the GPT plan, the paid plan currently. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Gunky, go ahead. And then we're going to go to Henry and Yvonne.
I was just I don't know, I haven't quite constructed this sentence. I've only just got Grok 2 back. But I wonder that maybe we're not quite looking at this right. Maybe, Grok 1 was a baby, Grok 2 is a toddler, and Grok 3 will become a teenager / young adult, sticking with the metaphor, but it doesn't know much more than Grok 2 at this point, but its potential to learn is at another level. So because the answers seem to be similar from what I've seen at this point, but maybe Grok 2's, I wonder that its ability to learn us is much better, much as it's just all round better than Grok 2. I think over time, I guess it has more potential. I don't know what people think.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to cut in for Rich because he's not talking right now. but we're going to push everyone to KSJ's space, which he's spinning up here in a second. But we want to get to the hands and the new speakers here that didn't get a chance to say anything, but try and keep it pretty quick. And we're going to wrap up the space here very, very quickly. So Henry, go ahead, and then we'll get to you, Yvonne. Chris, you spoke enough tonight, so we're going to cut you off. Sorry.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to come from this from a business perspective. X monetization is almost purely a marketing thing. If you look from it, it is pretty much a legalized pyramid scheme. We pay, and then we get paid with our own money. The only reason why it works is because there's enough people paying into the blue check mark that aren't in the monetization program. It wouldn't work otherwise. So they're actually making money off of the monetization program because we only get a cut. We don't see the full amount of the pie either. And then it also promotes people who are trying to make money to sign up for premium. I mean, I've met people from third world countries who've turned this into their full-time job, right? And then if we go to the premium plus and premium difference, the only difference is the articles and then the supposedly larger reply reach. Them raising prices, I think, is going to be more detrimental than helpful. I mean, people were already debating whether it was worth it, and then they hiked the prices. So I don't know. That just doesn't make much sense to me. And I invest for a living, so I don't know. I don't like the direction X is going. to be honest.
Does it almost seem like they're trying to get rid of this monetization program because they fucked it up at first so much, and they're just trying to get everybody out of it and say not enough people are in blue or premium or something?
I don't know. I honestly wouldn't mind the monetization program being scrapped. I don't rely on it or anything like that. And I think it'd bring back some authenticity to the place. And then honestly, it would encourage more like posts. Like, I don't know. It's kind of demoralizing to do anything creative when it's like you can just post a good morning post that takes like 3 seconds and then it does better than anything else. So it's like you don't really want to post anything else because it's like it feels like a waste of time. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
I agree with you, Henry. And you got to believe that we've heard other people suggest that it's almost like a form of self-sabotage, whether or not they're doing it intentionally or there's some nefarious characters within the company that are, trying to sabotage the program and the overall success of X. Who knows? But yeah, we are going to wrap it up pretty quickly here. KSJ has not launched her space yet, but she is going to have a space about the same topic. So we thought we'd just go ahead and shift the audience over to her space whenever it launches. She's going to DM me and let me know as soon as it goes live, and we're going to push people there. And until then, Yvonne, please feel free. You got the floor.
Yeah, I love she's doing a space on it because she'll have a great audience. I was like, I love that you guys are doing a space on it. Yeah, I want to echo a lot of the same things that you guys were saying, right? Like, you got to believe. I love what you said, Henry. I love what you shared. I was having private conversations with some people in the background specifically regarding this, right? And I love the platform like a lot of us, right? I'm a power user, as many of us are, especially those of us who host spaces. And the energy on this platform was absolutely electric and on fire, right? There were possibilities were endless. I still try to make myself believe that, right? Put myself in that headspace. But I will say, and this is totally like outside of Elon and his politics, like I try to keep that stuff separate. But I do know that there has been a hit because of him with the whole Doge thing and stuff like that, right? But I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? So I do know that. But the biggest thing, like you guys mentioned, is a lot of people who are monetized and the whole GM, I tried doing, I was literally going to do the GM, the good morning and the good night post for 2 weeks straight just to see the difference, even though, just to like kind of test it out, right? But I get bored with that. I have to be original. I have to be authentic. I can't just do that. I mean, it is fun to see the, responses from people and kind of get to say good morning to people, and then you feel their energy, and it's kind of like you all get connected for the day, and then you see the rest of their posts. So that's really fun. But I'm like, I need to like be able to put a little bit more out there and get a return on investment for that, right? Especially if you want to do really creative things. So that's diminished the platform a lot, and just being based on replies when I think it needs to be a combination of replies or view time, like how long someone spends on a post. That would be the more opportune thing in my opinion. And then ad rev share needs to be thrown back in the mix. Like that, I've been saying that for a while now. They need to restructure that because people's pay has been getting really diminished, and then things that are not necessarily great content, let's just keep it real, or great quality content, is not being rewarded if you're just doing this little half-assed shit, right? Sorry, I don't normally curse, but it's really making me mad. Yeah, and then people are kind of running the well dry. But then the other thing too, when I heard this crap, about Grok, and I'm super excited about Grok 3. I cannot wait, right? Especially with video, if they end up doing video and having the voice implemented. But the fact that they just dropped this bomb with the $40 now with this increase, no warning whatsoever. So think that people who have their stuff on auto renew, like all of a sudden now it's going to end up being $20 more than what it was. They should have done a separate category where you could add that on and not have it implemented into the original price of Premium Plus, because much as YouGottaBillieve said, I feel the same way. How many people that were doing Premium Plus before, because I have Premium Plus, but I agree with everything that he said in that regard. And I want Grok to be awesome. I want the platform because I'm all for free speech. But GPT-4 is absolutely freaking better than Grok. Like even now, it is. Are you going to use Grok to write a book? I love that they have the website now. I'm pumped about that because that's something they were missing before. That's another component that might make me want to use it a lot more. But I don't know that I'm necessarily going to use it to like help myself write a book, right? Like there are so many levels. So you can't even build like your own GPT, right? I mean, and that's only 20 freaking bucks. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God,
right?
you're like speaking my language here.
Yes.
It's just like so frustrating. Like, I don't mind paying for these features, but I want it to be like my choice here. I don't want to be thrown into it without
Exactly.
All right, Rich, close up the space. Let's go.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Bye.